Yes, the revamped Super Rugby season kicked off with some cracking matches. Former Brumbies and Wallabies hooker Jeremy Paul is here to break it all down. Jeremy, welcome. Let's kick off with the Brumbies. An emphatic win last night, and fans have been waiting to see this attacking prowess to be unleashed. Are you seeing signs of what you want to see from the Brumbies?
Oh, look, it was an excellent start. We saw, 60-odd points scored in the first two games of Super Rugby, and one very close game, less than two, and the other one with the Brumbies, just absolutely dominant. I don't think Stephen Larkham will actually be that happy about the attack. I mean, it was fantastic. It was more the defence. Their defence was just outstanding. I mean, Kieran Drani started it all off with a little pick and go, seeing a little back there, and the new hooker, the new halfback from Argentina, absolutely outstanding, throwing the ball around. Sam Carter on the end of this wonderful try. I mean, it was just an absolute wonderful display in attack, but I can say it was their defence that won the game last night.
What about Stephen Moore, the co-captain? 150th match. Is it good to still see a bit of life in those old legs now in the match performance?
Look, it's quite peculiar, isn't it? He's off to the Reds next season. Getting back to his family and so forth who are up in Brisbane, fair enough, and he's got a young family. But to see open spaces like this, the old man running around, and look, he was wonderful last night. I mean, he stole David Pocock's try there on the back of the maul. Usually David Pocock's there controlling the ball, and we saw both hookers actually pick up 2 tries last night. So, look, Stephen leads the side around exceptionally well, and I think obviously he knows that this is his last season with the Brumbies. He'll put it in. Well,
with Moore on the way out and David Pocock possibly taking that sabbatical as well, do you see this as the Brumbies' best chance of taking out the title?
Oh, look, you like to think there's always a chance to take out the title. Look, I think you have to make sure that you're always bringing through players through the system. Young Butler's coming through. I mean, he's a player of the future. David Pocock, we need to make sure for Australian rugby this guy is looked after. I mean, if he wants to go for a sabbatical, we've seen it work with Dan Carter, Richard McCaw over in the All Blacks, going over to France, get a bit of coin, put it in the back pocket, come back, a couple of pina coladas on the beach back here, it's perfect.
Now, also in New Zealand last night, we saw the Blues get a bit of an upset over the defending champions. Do you think that Tana Umanga's side might be able to do something a bit more substantial this year?
Yeah, you got to look at the first round, and the Highlanders coming back. Their main players, Aaron Smith, Ben Smith, my favourite name, Malachi Fekitoa. They've just come back from that World Cup win last year. They're always going to be a little bit slow. The Blues, brand new side. Absolute superstar, this young kid. Just steamrolled Ben Smith to score the try, but also Tana Umang is obviously his experience. But the Highlanders could have won that game, and that's what a championship side does. They put themselves in the position to do it. Osborne got sent off with 10 minutes to go, put his side under 14 points, and the young reserve 5'8", if he would have kicked the penalty straight after Osborne, they would have actually won the game. So look, the Highlanders will be there for sure.
This morning, we saw the Cheetahs take on one of the new teams in the competition, Argentina's Jaguars. Yes. What did you think from what you saw of the Argentines?
Oh, look, the Jaguars, they were outstanding in their kit anyway. You can't miss them. Look, the Cheetahs have been disappointing over a number of years now since they made their finals debut a few years back and leading 24-3 at one stage. But my man here, Creevy, the hookers are just making all sorts of inroads all over the place at the moment. And look, they are going to be tough to beat at home this side, and the fact that they've got one away win already under their belts just shows that this side is going to be very, very formidable in this competition.
I love all the raps you're dishing out for the various hookers. It's great.
You have to.
Yeah. Now, on those new sides, like the Argentine side, the Japanese side and the one from South Africa, how important is it for them to have a good showing this season for the overall health of the competition?
Oh, for rugby in general. We brought in a South American side, the Asian side with the Japanese, but both performed exceptionally well in the World Cup last year. So, to grow the game, particularly at Super Rugby level, provincial level, we need to get into those areas, and it just showed with the Jaguars against a side that has been in Super Rugby for over a decade. So, I'm very excited about the Jaguar side. I'm sure the Asian side, the Japanese side, will take a bit of time with regards to development and a bit more infrastructure and getting their local players through that system. And we've seen the Kings come in before. South Africa have a plethora of players, so we know they will be formidable in a few years' time. But this Jaguars team, look out.
Tonight, massive match for Australian rugby fans. Waratahs and Reds. Kurtley Beale at 10 for the Tars. How do you think he'll go there?
Look, Kirtley is a magnificent player. He's one of those guys that can fill any hole, and he's shown in the past just how dynamic he can be at 10, and I love him at 10, but I have a big rap on Foley as well. So if you're going to put Beale and Foley together, you probably have Beale at 12. But for the Waratahs, with Foley out for at least a month now, speculation on when he might come back, I think Beale will have an absolute crackerjack game. And the Reds missing so many players, Quade Cooper, Will Genia, James Horwell. They have picked up a couple of good players in the off-season. And Caden Neville, I think he will shore up the pack in the tight 5. And really looking forward to this young Curtis Browning. Liam Gill is out at the moment, so he's a good young kid, and I think he'll be a bit of a star in the years to come, hopefully.
Jeremy Paul, thank you so much for coming in.
No, thank you very much.